What do you want to say about your relationship or lack thereof with Tupac Shakur?
Well, I don't really want to say. There's nothing to say. There was never a relationship between Tupac and me. None of it is true as far as me being involved with him. None of it is true.
So you're saying you were never
involved with Tupac. Never.
I was mad at him. And I think I yelled at him.
He and his mom feel like we know what happened, and we really feel like we know it may never be served. We know justice may never be served.
All right, y'all. We need to talk about how Biggie's mom, Voletta, exposed Diddy and everyone around Biggie before the industry even caught on. 50 Cent's new doc brought back a lot of things we thought we knew about Tupac and Biggie. And it also exposed some new stuff. And one thing everyone is talking about is how Diddy was insanely jealous of Pac and Biggie's relationship.
Sean was insanely jealous of Biggie and Pac's friendship.
You know, when I was around Big, I felt like he really loved me. Like, I felt like if I left the room, he wasn't gonna say nothing bad, or somebody said something bad about me, he would defend that.
But here's the wild part. According to an old interview with Voletta that resurfaced, one of the things Diddy allegedly did was set up a scheme to let Biggie know that Faith Evans cheated on him with Tupac. Now, some people believe it really happened, and others think they just made Biggie believe it so he could go after Pac. Either way, one person is behind it all: Sean Diddy Combs.
Yo.
Yo, babe, wake up, baby.
Diddy, what the fuck, man? What's up?
Come on now, it's 5:45. We got the 7:30 flight going to LAX.
Whoa. Cali?
No doubt, baby.
Mind you, Pac was already a star when Biggie was coming up, and Pac took him in like his little brother. They hung out, performed together, cracked jokes, hit studios. Pac even let Biggie open for him, and they talked about doing a whole project together. That's how close they were. Saw Biggie's potential, and he saw how the industry worked. And several insiders have claimed that Tupac was trying to guide Biggie out of Bad Boy. But sadly, things started shifting fast. When Tupac was shot in '94 at Quad Studios, he was convinced that Biggie knew about the setup and didn't warn him. Biggie always denied this, but Tupac felt betrayed, and nothing was the same after that.
The Tupac article had me pissed off, you know what I'm saying? And the rumors that's spreading is on some tip like we set him up, you know what I'm saying? And that's crazy. It's just ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? But I also understand that if you was to get shot 5 times, your mind is just completely spinning, you know what I'm saying? You're real confused about your situation. It would cause you to say things that you really don't mean.
And that's when the rumors, the jealousy, and the power moves really kicked in. Then came the Hit 'Em Up track. Pac is calling out Biggie, claiming he smashed Faith Evans, and it made things even worse. The Faith and Tupac rumor exploded, and suddenly everyone was picking sides. Faith, however, repeatedly denied cheating on Biggie in interviews and in her memoir, claiming that she visited Tupac's studio for a paid feature and rejected his advances.
I mean, we met. He was really nice. He asked me to work on his album. He told me he could get it approved or whatever, get clearance from the label. And then I found out that he probably couldn't. I was out there working with another group. I won't name them. They have nothing to do with Death Row.
Okay.
And I was writing for them. That's how I met him. I did a reference vocal for another group I won't name.
Okay.
And it ended up that they were going to try to use the vocal on Tupac's album. So I guess it was for him or whatever. I really don't know.
And honestly, even if Faith did hook up with Pac, that's besides the point. Because let's not act like Biggie didn't do her dirty before this rumor even started. Biggie was cheating on Faith from the jump with multiple women, including Lil' Kim. The bigger question is, who benefited from having Faith get down with Tupac? According to folks who were around the bad boy circle back in the 90s, Diddy was insanely jealous of Tupac and his bond with Biggie, and he was ready to do whatever it took to break them apart. And this story about Faith and Tupac could do exactly what he wanted: create mistrust, drive a wedge, and separate them before their bond got too strong. Diddy had motive, means, and timing. Biggie was still in his early 20s, new to the game, and he trusted certain people, but Diddy could manipulate those around him. And Faith was definitely one of the people he manipulated. Faith actually later told the New York Times that Diddy was mistreating her. He was threatening her and making all kinds of wild demands, like forcing her to tan every other day. Quote, Puff used to walk me to the tanning salon every other day because I was pale and he wanted to tan me up, Faith said. And he told me he wanted me to walk out of the house and look glamorous all the time. Also, right after Biggie passed, Diddy pushed Faith to perform his track I'll Be Missing You with him and Sting at the 1997 MTV Music Awards, even though she was still deep in grief. It was like the ultimate humiliation ritual. Faith said, when he wanted me to sing I'll Be Missing You at the MTV Awards with Sting, I didn't want to do anything. I was still grieving. But he got me on the phone and he was like, listen, you ain't about to F my thing up. I thought my crying would work, but he persuaded me to do it. Now, Biggie's mom, Voletta Wallace, was the only one who saw the game before anyone else did. Voletta has never made any comments about Faith Evans. In fact, after Biggie's death, Faith and Voletta worked together to manage Biggie's estate. After Biggie died in 1997, his estate was split up according to the law, and his wife, Faith, automatically got 50%, while their son Christopher C.J. Wallace Jr. and Biggie's daughter Tiana Wallace each got 25%. But even though Faith had the legal right to handle the estate on her own, she decided to share control with Biggie's mom, Voletta Wallace. In her 2008 memoir, Keep the Faith, she explained why she made that choice, saying, I could have just made sure she was taken care of and then had my attorney let her attorney know our plans, but I wanted actual input from her on how she wanted things to be handled. Also, after Voletta died in 2025, Faith publicly mourned her and praised Voletta's strength and commitment to protecting Biggie's legacy. So Voletta never blamed Faith for anything, and there was clearly no bad blood between them. There was only one person Voletta blamed for her son's murder: Sean Combs. Voletta dropped hints in interviews over the years that Diddy was a snake and never truly cared about Biggie. Voletta also wrote this in her memoir: I believe Sean loved my son after he was dead. I used to tell Christopher all the time not to trust Sean. Also, during her 2020 interview on The Breakfast Club, Voletta said she still wants to strangle some of Biggie's former associates. And though she didn't name names, we all know who she was talking about.
I would strangle him because, you know, some of some of his associates, I still want to strangle them.
So when you really sit back and connect all these dots, the rumors, the tension, the sudden flip between Pac and Big, the way Faith got pulled into the mess, Voletta's comments, the one common denominator in all this drama is Sean Diddy Combs. And everyone who watched 50 Cent's documentary came to the same conclusion. One fan on X wrote, Biggie and Tupac had a brotherly relationship, and Diddy was envious of that. Like, he really set those boys up to their demise. It's actually really sad because they just wanted to make music, and that talentless scoundrel Sean Combs got them out of the picture. And another person wrote, nothing is more dangerous than an insecure man. This Diddy doc proves it. He was jealous of everyone and everything. His only success was off the back of someone who deserved it. Well, now let me hear your thoughts on all this. Do you think Diddy played a part in turning Pac and Biggie against each other? Did Faith realize what was going on at the time? Or did Diddy manipulate and maybe even threaten her to make her go along with his scheme? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll catch you in this next video.